You see what I'm saying? Devon, are you still paying attention to the facto here? Not only do I have Hobo, I have her husband. I got Reese and her husband and Kevin. Say hello to everybody, Pop. Kevin, you all right there?
Yo, what's the deal?
Nothing. Let's talk some factual shit. What do we talk about, Kevin?
What do we talk about?
Yeah, what do we
Emotional
talk about?
control,
What do you get
accountability,
what do you get out of that?
finding solutions, accountability, emotional control, and ego. Them are the four main things we talk about.
Hobo, what do we talk about, Hobo?
Um, how important it is to know self and like shadow work and that kind of fun stuff.
Reese, can you help me out here? Or the husband?
So Reese is focused solely on mental health.
I'm not yelling.
Is that something that you learned from Harvard or any of the Ivy League schools?
Am I allowed
How
to?
how important how important it is to have a conversation about mental health as opposed to getting the resources and trying to reach a consensus with yourself to get that therapy. How important are conversations about this? This is where I'm getting at.
So hold on. Let me step this back and let's see if
I'm
we can
about to,
figure out
honey. I'm
where this
about
went sideways. So he says you asked some questions. What were the questions that you asked?
Well, he just said he asks questions, then ridiculous to respond. So, in other words, he's asking questions and then he's demeaning the responses, regardless of what you say. I say that everybody that's in this panel right now have grown. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he's saying that you asked questions and that he was just answering them. So what were the questions that you answered?
yes and no, Martin.
So let me ask you a question. His last comment was providing that the blind isn't leading the blind. How do you
Hold on,
respond to
hold on,
that?
He's
hold on.
almost there.
I don't want to dig into what he keeps saying in the comments because I wasn't here. I don't think any of us were here when everything started. So I'm just trying to see what caused this to start to begin with.
Let me bring you up to speed. He was very quick to say that he graduated from Harvard. He was very quick to say that he has 5,000 people in his life. Now I'm here to say, is that a fact or can we debunk that?
Um,
Because he only has 8,000 followers. To say that you have 5,000 people in your life and you only have 8,000 followers, is that the right mathematical ratio from a person that comes from an Ivy League school?
but in all honesty, that would be an insane engagement rate. Like if you only have 8,000 followers and 5,000 of them show up to your lives
Oh my,
consistently, that's insane.
That
that's some truth.
doesn't mean that they were necessarily his followers, though.
See, but let me
He
ask you a
could have
question,
popped up on your
Hobo.
For You page or something like that.
Let me ask all of you a question. If he was real, wouldn't he go live and come up here and talk shit?
Well,
I
he had the
mean, that's
same
always
mindset
an
we got.
option. You could definitely do that.
Is he ready for that, guys? Is he ready for that? The question is, regardless of what his question is, sir, go live and come up here and let's see how much the engagement increases. Am I right or wrong? Am I losing something here?
Or Mika.
Yes, Reese, talk to me.
Never mind.
Well, that was a
Reese,
quick
you know I like to hear from you.
So I'll give you my honest take, because I don't know you very well. I've only seen you on lives a couple times. I don't know where the frustration of what his question or what his answer to the question was about it being that he's from Harvard. Um, and I don't necessarily think that that's the engagement he's going to get. At the same time, when we were in Kev's live earlier, we talked about the fact that at the end of the day, nobody else's opinion fucking matters.
Right.
So if he wants to come in here and make that comment and you disagree for whatever reason, no, you don't have to justify why you disagree with it or what issue you have with it. Let's just move on, because it doesn't provide you value, right? And it doesn't provide value to the guests that you bring onto your panel and to the goals that you have for your space and the people that you interact with. So as much as it would be great to sit here and go back and forth with him on, the value of what he brings and the value of what you have, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because you know what you have, right? You said that earlier. You said you know exactly who you are and exactly what you are about.
I'm not going to disagree with you, but sometimes
You can't say I'm not going to disagree with you, but
And then disagree.
because you're going
you know what? I'm going to remove the but, because that actually changes the whole dynamic.
Okay.
So what I would say is that I agree with you, period.
Okay.
And I'll leave it at that. The whole point of what we're doing here is to give people options, to let people know that there is actually a safe space for you to come up here and speak your piece, as long as it is rational, right? As long as it's coming from the right place. Am I right or wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
So look who I have here right now, right? These are the people that I focus on. I spend a lot of time on Kevin's live, right? Hobo does the same shit. She goes in a whole bunch of things, right? And then she has a husband that gives an extra, right? And you, sir, that I already appreciated Reese to begin with, and then adding that extra element just give it such a reinforcement, right? Can I give you your flowers?
Yeah.
I'm not here to utilize you guys as my defendants. I'm here to do what we always do. Imagine that. I met you for the first time today, sir, right? And I am thrilled to meet you. That is that not a real statement?
You said as much, yes. But I think that's the thing is, if that's where we're going to go and that's the discussions that we had tonight, then I think this has run its course here, because we don't have anything else to prove to the gentleman in the comments. You know who you are. Hobo came in and supported. Kev came in and supported. Reese came in and supported, and helped to establish that, this is who you are. This is who the people that you surround yourself with are, and that's as far as it needs to go.
Yeah.
And you know what? I am man enough and human enough to accept that. So that being said, sir, give me something that we could actually talk about so that we can close this night.
I don't have anything for you to talk about, because I'm going to take myself to bed very shortly here.
And I respect that.
What I would say is, what we can take from this is, at the end of the day, you don't have to prove anything to anyone else. You don't. It's okay to just say, you know what? This conversation has run its course. I'm going to close the app and I'm going to move forward, and you're going to move forward. And if we cross paths again, then great.
Yeah.
But if not, by all means, continue yours.
And all I can say is that I respect you more every time that you speak. The action is great. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what, the action is great. I got bananaed on Kevin's live for no reason at all. This is what my belief is, right? Because I don't think I said anything extraordinary or out of pocket. But the fact that you came up here to support me means a lot to me. So I'm gonna absorb that because it feels good. Can I have that though? Can I have that moment? Can I have that moment that you guys came up here? I don't know. I'm not going to try to dictate the reason why you came up here, but I feel so great that you're here. Can I say that I'm happy regardless of what your agenda was to come up here? That I feel good about that. Can I have that?
Absolutely.
Most definitely.
And you know what? What that does is increase my energy towards when you guys are doing something, I'm right there behind you too.
Not supposed to be, man.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like people keep arguing about the same shit. Are we gonna continue to fight about the differences? Are we going to try to acknowledge the common? What are we doing? Is that a feasible conversation? Yeah, we're all different. Because we were all the same, then we all have the same problems, right? We all deal with the same
Mhm.
problems the same way, right? But we don't. Everybody's portfolio is different. But as long as we keep concentrating on the differences, we're not going to meet at a higher ground with the consensus of the similarities. Oh, you're older than me. You're younger than me. You're darker than me. You're lighter than me. Your beard is bigger. You're clean shaven. Oh, your lips are big. Oh, you got a big ass. Oh shit. Your breast is like so protruding that people don't understand that the reason why kids wear sweatpants and sweatshirts is to hide that because they feel uncomfortable, right? This is coming from the father of an 18-year-old in high school, right? I was made to be a grandfather at 39. Is there anybody in the audience right now that can tell me that they're a grandfather at 39?
It is.
Mm.
Is there anybody that can tell me that there was a father at 18? I'm waiting. Hobo, when did you become a mother?
Whoa, 27?
Reese,
Yeah.
when did you become a mother?
Sounds right.
20.
20? So
I
you're in
became a
you're
father
so,
at 12.
so you're in the ballpark, right?
Okay.
Kevin, are you a
No.
father?
At 12, I got kids everywhere in
Kevin,
rags.
Kevin, don't let that little white spot in your head control you. Listen to me.
It was white spots, all right. It's like,
I know,
go
but
ahead.
Kevin, you're not a father, obviously, right?
No, no.
Is this something that you want to be?
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
Do you think that these
If it happens.
discussions, do you think that these discussions in your life has helped you to be a better father?
Yeah, learning from my parents, everything. I learn from everybody. I take bits and pieces out, you know what I'm saying? But I realize every kid is different, so I would literally have to, once I had my kid, I would have to understand my kid and study mine, so I can use certain tactics, but I can't rely on them. I'll put it that way. So
I
I take
would
Watch,
every piece of
real quick,
information I can.
Kev,
watch this.
I would
Go ahead,
like to
Hobo.
slightly that if when you do become a father, because I have all faith in you finding the perfect woman for you and creating this beautiful, amazing family that I know that you'll have someday, right? But when you do, I want you to keep in mind that who your person is when they're pregnant and who your person is postpartum is not who they are at their core, right? Because postpartum can last a really, really long time, and sometimes that alone can destroy your relationship if you don't pay attention to the fact that like this is just something that you're going through right now and it will end eventually. So just like it's a small thing to keep in mind because it's a lot to go through. And honestly, if my husband wasn't as supportive as he is, I don't think that we would have made it through me going through postpartum depression and anxiety. I don't think that we would have made it.
And that's why I love them both. You see that? Because they you see, they talk about the shit that's real. Postpartum, right? Pregnancy. I went through that. My daughter's mother gave up on my daughter and she walked away from us and I raised my daughter by myself. You know what I'm saying? Let's hope that nobody goes through that because that is some awesome shit. Let me tell you something from both sides of the spectrum. You understand how this works, Kevin? That you're not going to learn unless you get a whole bunch of different
Exactly.
opinions, a whole bunch of different experiences.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I'll admit that like it's not fair to you guys. It's not fair to the men in the situation
I
to
won't truly know until I actually experience it, because, like I said, I know my experience is gonna be different from
yeah.
everybody
I mean,
else's and stuff.
I hope that
Like
like
no parent ain't ready to be a parent until they're a parent. So
absolutely not.
I can
Absolutely
learn
not.
it. I can learn the same way everybody else is. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is. Even when a new kid is, you learn something new. I'm
Let,
fully
let, let,
aware of it.
let me refer to Reese's husband if he's still listening. Let me refer. I'm going to ask you a question.
Is he? Oh, hey, fairy.
Good, because I need him in my life right now. Look, at the challenge, at the most challenging points where you had to lead by example, what did it take for you to hold back everything you had to show them that you're better than that? Can you please help me with this?
Yeah, what's up, Martin?
For me, it was not difficult, um, but it was mainly focusing on setting aside myself. That's the first thing. You cannot, if you are leading, you immediately have to separate from yourself.
Yeah.
You also have to understand that you don't know the answers to everything. One of the things that I talked about at a leadership conference with people was when you are a leader, you have to always approach everything from the perspective of, I could very well be wrong, and how could I be wrong in this scenario?
Mm-hmm. Quiet.
Hey.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Lately I've been hearing a lot of the men folks on the TikToks, right? And I want to know from an unbiased male, right? Because you don't really interact a whole lot with these TikToks. Do you feel as though you as a man felt like you were supposed to know what what the right thing to do is at every single moment?
That's a fucked up question.
It is.
No, not that's a really fucked up question. But I really want to hear what he says to that.
So, yes, but let me add some detail to it.
Okay.
If I feel like I have to not know the answer, but be willing to find the answer.
Okay.
So, I lead multiple teams on my side when I in my career.
Fairy said hi.
And what I always tell everyone is, don't be afraid to ask a question of somebody you don't think knows the answer, because they may be the person that's going to go find the answer for you.
Mm-hmm.
And when I am in my career, very often I will get asked a question that I don't know. And the first thing I say is, I do not know. However, let me go find out. And then I go and I figure that out. I think the problem is that people put this pressure on themselves that they have to know how to do everything. You don't. You will never know everything in every scenario that you go into. You go into the parenting, you go into marriage, whatever it may be, you are always going to have to figure out what the answer is. And those answers can change over time. A scenario
Absolutely.
that you encounter at 20 may have a very different response required at 30, at 40. The way that we parented our kids at in our mid 20s is very different from now. And we tell them all the time, there's no guide here. We are learning just like you are, and we pass on the stuff to you. And here's the thing is you can take that and you may have a few steps on some of the other parents because you listened to some of the lessons we learned, but you're still not going to know it either because we still don't know it.
Do you see what? That's what I'm afraid of. What I'm afraid of is that there are people on this earth that speak a little bit in a different level, in more in eloquent fashion, where most people are not going to understand it.
Very.
So they ask us to dumb it down, right? Are we supposed to dumb it down, or are they supposed to step it up?
So I can answer that one for you.
Please.
If you have to dumb it down for somebody to get it, you were wrong in the first place.
Wow. Please go further.
If your message is strong enough, or if whatever it is that you're trying to teach somebody is strong enough and you know that topic well enough, you should be able to meet them where they are. Right? So if I walk into a room with 20 people and they are brand new to their career, I should be able to instruct them on what I'm trying to relay to them at the level that they are. They're new to their career. They don't necessarily understand these pieces, and I need to meet them there. But if I walk into a room with a bunch of people that have been in it for 10 to 15 years, then I have a different level of expectation of their understanding, and I'm going to be able to relay that at a different level. Now, you will obviously have some outliers that are 10 to 15 years in, and they're still in the same position as they were when they were junior. They never grew, and sometimes you just have to let that slide to the side, right? Because you can't take the 1 to 2% and go, I'm going to bring it all the way to your level to keep you up. No, you got to match and come up and find a way to get to where you should be.
So is it hold on. So is it our responsibility to get the message across?
It depends on your role.
Let's go for a leadership role. As a leader, is it our responsibility to get the message across regardless of who we're working with?
No. It is your responsibility to place opportunities for that person to grasp the necessary tools and skills to achieve what you are building them for and what they are looking to build.
I'm not even going to test you again, because honestly, only a small amount of people could actually answer that correctly. I'm not going to hold you no more. Because it's going to seem like I'm going to keep trying to like put you in a corner, and I'm not asking you for the answer that I want. I'm asking you for the reality of the situation, something feasible. So let me ask you this, so we can start the next conversation.
What's up, Big Mike?
Let me ask you this. Do you know about SMART goals?
Sorry.
Define what you are saying by SMART goals.
Well, SMART. Let's say what do you call it when every letter of a word means something? What do you call that?
An acronym?
All right. So SMART goals is an acronym, right? Every letter stands for something. If I don't know them all by heart, but SMART goals are like, they are feasible, right? Somehow they are timeable, they are realistic, they are achievable, they make sense. So so now we're talking more about the responsible sense, right? Because accountability starts when you're going to take like action for something you've done, and then responsibility avoids it. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
So smart goals, right? How do you deal with situations where it involves somebody else and it's impossible to get through to them?
First thing is you have to be honest, and that's very hard for people in leadership to do. And I say that because there are a lot of limitations placed on you from an HR perspective. And then there's a lot of communication barriers that occur because people get caught up in this idea of I want to protect you and I want to protect your feelings. So they work their way around trying to come up with a way of presenting what they perceive as a negative, and they ultimately lose the point of what they're trying to get across, and it never lands with that person. And I think
Can I ask you a question? What are your strengths and your background?
what are my strengths?
Like if you could just throw me the arrow. Look, here's my shit. You know what I'm saying? What are your strengths and what do you actually do?
So I lead multiple software development teams.
People are trying to.
I'm a lead architect and a senior developer for a company that I cannot name that works for an organization I cannot name.
You don't have to do that.
Yeah, but my strength lies in the ability to take code and technology, but translate it to a consumable business perspective. So I'm the interface between somebody who could just tell you what they want to do with code and what the stakeholder does with what they actually want to achieve.
Wow, bro. You know what? I'm one of the few people that actually understood that. I'm not gonna hold you. You know what's the funny part? That the person that was in the audience, right, that had the Harvard degree, right, and all the accolades, run for the hills, bro, because we're having a real conversation here. I'm impressed with the shit you do. How does that translate into real life shit, though?
So with me, I take same things and break them down the same way
Wait,
in
hold on,
life.
Quiet. You're ex-military, right?
I
No,
am. Yeah, I'm ex-military.
Well, I think Quiet is too.
no,
No? Okay, my
no,
bad.
but I have
Sorry.
associations with things.
Okay.
That's what do you know what's funny, Hobo? That's what I'm actually grabbing from him.
Mm-hmm.
Without he's saying him, he's talking about his associations based on experience, and this is what I try to teach people. Your wisdom comes from your discernment, and it has to have some type of experience related to that. Am I right or wrong?
Correct.
Which is also your portfolio of your knowledge, right?
Yes.
So just because you went to school doesn't give you a free pass to say what you want to say because there's other accolades or other experiences that come with that. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, you're right.
So I'm gonna let you continue. Go ahead, sir.
So that's pretty much my role. I I have full development responsibilities, so I'm in code every day. But my skill set lies in taking the objectives we have to get to, organizing them, helping people move beyond barriers, and then also building new business. So right now I'm in the process of trying to get myself to a director role. It's already been talked about, but it's more of the way I see it is if that's the role I want, I have to live that role. And then when they place that role on me, it's only a matter of them labeling the fact that I've already been doing it.
I appreciate you. You know what's funny? That you didn't have to shed none of that shit. And I'm glad that I created a safe place for you to actually say that because honestly, I feel like that's something that you don't discuss with everybody. Am I right?
No, you're right. You're right. Like Hobo said, I don't interact with many people on here. I don't normally talk on my wife's live. I keep things very, very much private.
I want you to know personally that I respect you, and I'm there was something about your wife, right? That it came across as though she didn't have time for the bullshit, right?
Yeah,
And then you understand what I'm saying? So now I see the backbone to that. And that's what I'm all about. The whole picture. Because people talk a lot of shit about things that they don't have the whole emphasis into, right?
Yeah.
And I've seen this a lot on live. People don't want to take advice from people that are already in a fruitful relationship, right? Because they don't actually believe that it could happen. So when you start speaking without relating that you are actually in a fruitful relationship, it becomes a contrast. And then when you end the conversation with, I'm actually in a happy relationship, they go, oh shit, you didn't tell me that. Do you understand what I'm saying with that?
Yeah.
So all I'm trying to tell you, sir, is that I appreciate meeting you. I appreciate like Hobo and her hus, like whatever they go through, that's their business. Like Kevin has told me that he's celibate or the other word for it, whether he's choosing to wait for the right one, but at the same time he's learning. Now I understand Reese a little bit more. Now I see where her force is coming from. It's like a mutual force. And I respect you for that. And all I want to do is thank you for coming up here, not only here and in Kevin's live, and speaking your piece, because I was dying to hear that other voice.
I appreciate you allowing me to speak.
Nah, bro. Like I knew because when Reese, I listen to Reese. Reese always tries to apologize. You know what I'm saying, for her difficulties sometimes expressing herself, and I keep trying to tell Reese, fuck everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like I told her this several times. If I don't have the patience to wait for you to express yourself, then I don't deserve to listen to you.
Oh, Reese, in all honesty, here in the South, we have the 3 F's. If you ain't fucking financing or feeding me, you don't get to have an opinion on my life. So,
You know what's funny? I could wait a day for Reese to get her point across, but I know that at the end of that, it's gonna be meaningful. So it's worth it. You understand that, Reese?
can you turn this light off?
Yeah.
So I got your back. I got Hobo's back. I got Kevin's back. Thank you for coming in here. The whole point is this: if we can't move forward, then we're gonna be stuck in the same fucking hamster wheel, right?
Is that better? A little bit.
Yep.
And it seems like everybody here wants to gain more, right? Kevin, am I right or wrong?
You right?
Are you satisfied, Kevin, with what you learned so far?
Oh yeah.
You feel
I'm
happy? You
always,
feel content?
I'm always is, man. That's what I'm here for, man. Trying to learn.
So here's the weird part,
Like
and I
several
think here's the weird part, and I think Reese's husband will confirm that you still have so much left to learn. Am I right?
I think Kevin is
I
right
think
where
all
he
of us
needs to be.
do.
Oh, you missed it. There you go.
Is he on the right path?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't it feel good to be able to express the bullshit that we've been through and at least talk about the achievements, right? Think about this, because a lot of people will say, "Oh, you're doing this, you're doing that." Isn't this a safe space where we could actually talk to each other and say, "Man, bro, you're on the right track," or you're on the wrong track? How do you feel about that, Hobo?
Huh?
How do you feel about somebody in this space right here? Look, there's 4 boxes, right? How do you feel if somebody tells you you're on the right or the wrong track? Whose baby is that? I love that.
Mine. But
Oh, that's the curly hair one. Let me see her. Let me see her.
she's
Let
being
me
a
see her.
butt.
I want to see her. Hey, what's up, man? You want to be on TikTok?
She's being a butt right now. But I mean, look, I don't know. I'm indifferent. I don't
Give
believe
me,
in
give me, give me the real, Hobo. Give me the really real. Don't hold back.
I don't know. I feel like people put their representatives on TikTok. And so like it's cool if you have an opinion about somebody's representative, but you gotta understand that like that's probably not who they are. So any like criticism that you give, they probably not gonna take it because it was fake to begin with, if that makes any sense. But we know how I feel about people. Anyway, moving on. Other people and their opinions. Go ahead.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Hobo. Here's the thing. I'm gonna challenge you because you're a pain in the ass, right? No, I don't give a fuck, right? I say the truth. You and Kevin are similar, but I think Hobo takes it to a different level, right?
I'm concerned.
You're concerned. Is that an accolade or is that something demeaning?
That's the question.
I'm saying your concern and your curiosities. Do you consider that a hinder or do you consider that an accolade?
That depends on how you feel about it.
You're in this box right now, though.
Oh.
So according to this box, do you consider your curiosities an accolade or do you consider it demeaning?
I don't know. I mean, I'm indifferent.
But just share with me. Are you the type that says, I'm gonna speak how I feel and I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks?
In real life, yeah.
All right, so what's the difference in TikTok?
TikTok be doxing people and sending whole like armed guards to their houses. So
you on some prison camp shit right now. Kevin, how do you feel? How do you feel when you know that TikTok limits you to the shit that you can say or do, and you're not even aware of the shit you do wrong?
I just try to adapt it the best I can, man. That's the way I do with life in general.
Does it
You
make you feel like you're on
adapt in
eggshells,
different.
though? Does it
Yeah.
make you feel like you're on eggshells?
To a certain extent, but I know what I put myself into. You know what I'm saying? I put myself in this environment, so I gotta work with what I got.
All right, so let me
I
ask
would
Reese.
I wouldn't say that though.
Let me ask Reese. Reese, I'm asking you deliberately. Reese,
She
you
is
you
not
you
that.
no Reese is something else. You've
She's
been on a
not
lot
that.
of
She's
lives,
asleep.
right? Reese, oh, she's asleep already.
Yeah.
All right, so let me ask the hers on the second notion. Obviously, you've witnessed your wife been involved in different lives, whether she did the live or whether she was involved in somebody else's life. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. How many times do you squeeze your fist and cringe when the conversation goes left?
I wouldn't say that to that level, but I was expressing to her that I wanted her to get off for her safety.
Can I intervene right there? For those that are here, the sticks that are watching and the people on the panel, that is the true definition of
Mhm.
a protective partner. He's protecting her. For those that understand the role of a protection partner, he just explained that. Can you say that again, sir, please, one more time, so the people that are not paying attention can hear you?
I just said that for me, it doesn't get me worked up that way. I just expressed to her that I want her to step away for her safety.
And you don't want her to bring that bullshit to you, right?
No, I mean, if she needs to talk about it, we're going to talk about it. But for me, I don't get involved in those things.
But you would help her to tell her, hey, that might be going too far, right?
Absolutely, but it's still her choice. I'm going to express to her the concern I have, but it's still her choice. If she feels that even though it may be unsafe, but she feels she really wants to be there, or there's something she needs to say in that moment, then she's going to stay there, and I will be there to support when she's done.
You heard that, Kev? I want you to bring that into your life. Did you hear what he just said? That he's allowing her to express herself, but he's there as a supportive role. Am I right?
Yes.
You understand this whole fucking fight about submission? Do you understand this shit? That submission doesn't belong to a gender, that it belongs to the role that you have to play to support. Am I right or wrong, sir?
No, you're right.
You understand that, Kevin?
Yeah.
That everybody's going about this the wrong fucking way? And I want you to continue to be Kevin, not allowing this nonsense to come into your life. What we're trying to find out is why we don't trust, right?
Okay.
Am I right or wrong, Kevin? Is this a trust issue?
You said a trust issue, talking about in general?
Everything. Is it a fucking trust issue?
I think majority of the time, yeah, it is.
Hobo, is it a trust issue here?
Yeah.
Sir, with all due respect, is this a trust issue?
Which portion of it?
All right, humans. I'm going.
Just give me your feedback, straight, black and white.
I think it's ego. I think people get caught up in the ego of what they have to do to support somebody. For example, I was in a conversation earlier, and somebody was talking specifically about this, and they said, you know, if my partner gets mad at me, then I'm going to be mad with them because I match their energy.
Wow.
And what I told them is, I said, I don't agree with the idea of matching energy, because if that's the approach you're going to take in your relationship, then things will always escalate.
Yeah.
Wait, time out. Let me write this down.
It's competition.
No, this, you know what you just said right now? It's ridiculous. Hold up. So what you're telling me is that to match the energy that is actually not conducive or gives value, that's more demonic?
So let me give you an example. Let's say a person comes in, and this is not gender based. So for anybody that's
never. We always speak human here. Always.
So if I come in and I start yelling at my wife, and then she goes, well, you know what? You're yelling at me. I'm going to start yelling at you simply for the fact that I'm matching your energy. The energy you're giving to me is you're yelling at me. You're upset at me. And her immediate response is that, well, if I'm on the other side, I'm going to feel that coming back to me. And then I'm going to go, well, you know what? Now I'm going to raise my voice again, or I'm going to try to go more, demanding and more aggressive in this conversation. And then it just becomes cyclical, because now she's going to go, well, I'm going to match it again because you've now raised the bar.
Time out. Time
And
out. Time out. Time
go
out.
ahead.
All right, let's take it to the feminist movement, where the feminist movement was about, supposedly, the feminist movement was about equal opportunity, right? The original feminist movement was equal opportunity. Help me out here.
Okay, I'm not gonna say I'm read up on it. I don't really get in those conversations, but I'll say
I
that that's
I
my
don't
general understanding of it.
I don't, and I promise that I'm not gonna engage you in this, and we're gonna fast forward, right? I
Okay.
promise. The feminist movement, equal opportunity, that turned into what supposedly they thought was equality, but it wasn't equitable. I'm gonna close my eyes for this because I gotta get spiritual on this. Not only was equitable was acceptable, it was more about superior. So bringing it back to the contrast, if we are all human, we need to have a consensus, right? I don't know how you regard personally where the balance is between men and women. I personally have women at a higher regard because they can give birth. That's just my philosophy. What's your take on that?
I'll give an analogy to what the common conversations are on here. Everybody always gets into the conversation of 50-50. In our relationship, and what has worked for us is 100-100. And that does not always equate to balance in terms of, if you were to take and rack and stack those items and go, okay, who did what over this time period? Was it equal? It's not about that balance. It's about, are we balancing what it is that we need for this relationship? And that's where the 100-100 comes in, is that I need to give my full effort. She needs to give her full effort in order for us to achieve what it is that we're after together.
I am so happy that you didn't do the 50-50 bullshit. You know what's funny? That I never doubted that you would go that direction. Kevin, as a single man that is choosing to be celibate, are you with me, Kevin?
What's up?
As a single man that's choosing to be celibate, what's your take on that?
You talking about my take on his situation?
Yes, and what he just said, build on that.
I was half listening. I was moving around. Something was in my eyeball and stuff. That thing going right eye killing me.
Uh,
What's
uh,
the
Kevin, hold on. Sir, can you give me the bullet point on what you just said? Give him the bullet point so that he could feel on that.
All I said was that I think it's 100-100, but it's not about balancing the contributions in terms of who did what roles and all that kind of stuff. It's more about balancing what it is that we need for this relationship to work,
right?
and that each side needs to give 100% of their effort in order to achieve that.
Yeah, I say that a lot. Yeah, 50-50
Do,
stuff
do, do
funny.
you do you realize that he says so much with a little bit?
Hmm. Yeah, both sides got to put they all into it, man. Ain't no 50-50 situation though. That's one thing though. And it's funny. I literally made a post about that today, man. That's that tit for tat type situation though. Like eventually it turns into a competitive type relationship and stuff, and then that just don't ever work out right though. Somebody gonna have to. Sometimes people got to give in. Sometimes people got to take over. I mean, it's gonna be times, you know what I'm saying? But keeping count on your finger and all that stuff, that'll set some stuff up for straight failure and all that stuff, and arguments and all type of stuff that don't need to be. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
That was an accountable statement because you said set yourself up for failure, right?
yeah.
So, all right, here's what I'm gonna do, sir. Can you give me something that I could address you by, except, sir?
Quiet.
Quiet.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. All right, so quiet. Here's the shit, right? Obviously, you have a lot of skills, right? Like if we were Batman, right? If we were Batman, we would have a lot of tools in our belt, right? Like Batman was like, I got this gun and this ninja shit or whatever the fuck is going on, right? Like Batman has a whole bunch of shit in his belt, right?
Yep.
Where would you say that you're at in your Batman belt?
A very light belt, because the stuff that I know now is not the stuff I knew 5 years ago. It's not the stuff I knew 10 years ago. It's not the stuff I knew 15 years ago. My wife and I have been married for 22 years almost. And
That you don't understand how monumental that is.
yeah, but
No, no, I'm giving you flowers, bro.
yeah,
Come on, you
hey,
already know that the average marriage doesn't last 5 years, bro.
exactly. But and the thing is that it's not that I've always known how to do things. It's not that she's always known how to do things. It's that we were committed to the fact that this is where we want to be. It was, when there are fights, it was never a discussion of, you know, well, what is this going to lead us to? Is this going to lead to separation or anything? That's never been a discussion in any sort of argument we've had.
Because that wasn't the goal, right?
That's not the goal. Now,
The goal wasn't to separate, right? Because that wasn't an option, correct?
correct. Now, obviously, and I said this earlier in the other live, in my opinion, there's no such thing as unconditional love. You
Me
know,
neither.
a year from now, my wife could have different opinion about how she wants to move in her life, and that would change how things go. She may decide she needs to move on. That's the way life goes. Everybody is
Let me ask you a question. Did it hurt you to say that?
no,
Why?
because for me,
I can build an understanding.
what I want is for her to be the best of her.
Can I
And
be
if
honest? Can I be honest? It hurt me to hear you say that.
so, I think she was hurt when I told her this years ago, because we've talked about it, but she understands where I'm coming from, which is I have nowhere else I want to be besides with her. There's no buts to that or anything like that. However, if at some point there is something that would make her better or make her happier, I don't want to be the blocker of that. And I think that's where the love comes from, because I understand whatever it is she needs for her, I'm there to support it. There's things that her joining TikTok, as I mentioned before, I'm not a fan of this app. I
And
don't.
and 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 I get that wholeheartedly. I get
But
that.
and the thing is I didn't come on here for me. I came on here to support her, and I came on here because she expressed to me that it was something that she enjoyed, but I was also seeing that it was starting to drag her down.
Can I ask you an honest question?
Go ahead.
With the conversations that we've had, with the interchange of conversation, do you see me differently?
I've only seen you in a couple of lives, so I don't necessarily have a different opinion on you.
From what you've seen so
Hmm.
far, if you had to make a judgment, and I'm giving you full velocity, full access to just throw me whatever you have on how I am accepting you, because I really love the way you speak, right? And where your mindset is at. Does that help you to develop some type of informality or one percentage of something?
Yes, because if I cannot have a reasonable conversation with somebody, I'm not going to expend my effort.
Thank you. Continue. I know. Let me tell you something. I know solid, and I know unappropriate, and I know not there yet. You feel me on that, right?
Yeah.
I know this shit. You know why? Because I've been at a point where I know my lacks, right? You know what I'm saying? Kevin, watch this. I'm gonna fuck you up. Do you know what a SWOT? And I'm asking the gentleman, quiet. Do you know what a SWOT analysis is?
Yes.
All right. So, do you think Kevin knows what that is?
I don't think I've been around Kevin enough to know that.
Give me a yes or a no.
Based upon his interest in learning more and growing, potentially I could see that.
You can see that he has potential, or give me a yes or a no.
I would say yes.
You're very optimistic. I would say no. Kevin, do you know what a SWOT analysis is? Watch how I bring you up to speed. Watch this. Kevin, do you know what a SWOT, SWOT analysis is?
Nope.
I talked to you about this before. That means that you wasn't paying attention. A SWOT analysis is, it's an acronym. SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. If you want to get to the next level, you need to understand these things. SWOT, your strengths, right, Kevin? Your weaknesses, right? Your opportunities and your threats. When you can make a straight up assessment of what this means, then you can gather the information so that you can move forward. Am I right or wrong?
That makes sense.
Think about that. So now I ask the gentleman to come forward and tell me, where is your motivation, sir?
Motivation.
Motivation means what is kicking you in your ass to move forward, right?
I guess me myself, more willing to learn more and seeing my change in my attitudes and stuff. Really like self motivation. I prefer that first. At first it was through other situations, but no, it's more self now. And then seeing me help people change and help me motivate myself. My content help me motivate myself. All that stuff.
Don't forget you got quiet with 20 years, 2 decades of experience.
No
Don't
experience
forget
with
that.
what?
Don't
Experience
no
with what?
don't forget.
Stuff with
Quiet
what?
has 2 decades, 20 years of experience.
No
How
what?
about No, let me explain why I'm going with this. With all due respect, Mr. Quiet, can you tell me what you would tell your younger self 30 years 30 years ago?
So I would not tell myself anything different. I'm not a person that looks back to change anything. I've I have um, a story from my early life that I'm not going to share here, at least right now. But when the people that know about that story, when they talk to me about it, they always say, "Well, what would you change in that?" And I always tell them I wouldn't change anything in it
Why? Can you tell me why?
because the things that I went through in those times is what shaped me into who I am now.
So are you saying that they were absolutely necessary?
No, no, but there's no
You are such a smart man, bro. Holy God.
there's no reason to doubt what it is that I came to the ultimate conclusion of by going through those things. Could things have been better if I changed them? Potentially. But at the same time, I'm comfortable with who I am. So there's no need for me to feel that I need to go back and change something.
Kevin, Kevin, this is what I want you to understand. I hope you was listening to what he said.
Heard.
If you was given the option to do the butterfly effect, right, which is go back in time and change something, right, like at a period of time,
Mm-hmm.
then you would dislodge everything. You would be risking the benefits and the good things. You heard, Kev?
Mm-hmm.
Listen to what this man is saying because I'm actually projecting to him what I want him to say. And he's telling you that he wouldn't change shit. Am I right?
You're absolutely right.
Kev, would you change it, Kev?
No.
No, don't
I,
say.
I,
Hold on, Kev. Don't say that because we're telling you our version. You don't have kids. We know as parents that if we change the circumstances, that could evoke
yeah.
one of our kids.
Yeah. Right.
Am I right or wrong, sir?
Yeah, but I think it's yeah, yeah, you're right.
That sucks, right?
So yeah, me myself, I wouldn't change. I always talk to my cousin and all everybody about that though. I wouldn't change nothing now because I'm a firm believer that everything happened for a reason,
Yeah, but you're
and
at
I
you're
wouldn't.
at less you're at less risk, Kevin.
Yeah, I feel you though, but I don't think I'll be at a risk because if I ain't go through what I go through, I wouldn't know what I know right now. So I don't think it's no such thing as anything. And what you were saying about as when you ask quiet wasn't necessary, I think everything in our life is necessary too. Because I wouldn't be here today if I made
Yeah, but Kev, but
unnecessary
Kev,
but
but
right.
Kev, you being not a parent, right? You're
Hmm.
32 right now, right?
Right.
Okay, so let's go. Tell me a place. Watch this. Here's the difference between me, you, and quiet. Tell me an age that you will go to right now to switch it up.
None.
No, come on, Kevin, be honest.
I literally got none. That was always a hard thing for me. Now that I grew, my mind grew and all that stuff to the way I'm thinking now, I really can't change nothing up for real. Like all my stuff I done
So
went through in my life
you
and all
you
that, I
you
wouldn't
you're
really
not
change
you're
it
not
up.
understanding the question because quiet understands where I'm going with this. You're 32.
Yeah.
If I could give you the power to go back to an age where you could take what you know now to a certain age, where would you go? You got the red carpet, rub the lamp, genie, the whole scratch your
Only
ass,
thing
tickle the
I
pickle,
take
whatever.
back when this incident that happened with my parent. That's probably the only thing. And I wish I could catch it at that time, but like I said, I do believe that happened for a reason too. But that's the only thing because it's only the only thing that's probably wavering on me right now.
Give me a era where you can go back and say, "Fuck that! I want to take everything that I learned right now." Look, what's today's fucking date, bro? January 14th, 2023. I want you to take this back to what you know right now in this big fucking head of yours, right? How far back can you go and say, I wish I could just start from there
It'd be last year.
with what you know right now?
It'd be last year.
So 1 year, right?
Yeah, last year when something happened to my father that I could have, wish I could have stopped.
You see how this differs, though? You see how this differs? If I was to ask the other gentleman that same question, he wouldn't change shit. You understand how that works? Because he would be
Yeah, but
risking
I
what?
don't. So I
But
don't
what?
think though that I don't think that that's necessarily because of age or whatever difference you want to call it. I think it's
I'm asking you to give me an equity.
so. Let me put it this way. If you are still dealing with something, you're always going to want to go back to that because you're going to
Right,
want to fix that. That's the
right.
thing that you are pinpointing. That's the thing that you feel that you can fix. But at some point, most of the time, people are able to get to a point where they start to feel some sort of peace with that moment that they
And
don't
that's
feel
Right.
they need.
and that's the point that I wanted Kevin to get. Kevin, I hope you was paying attention to what he just said. Can you say
I,
that one
I'm
more time?
understanding the whole type of scenario that I'm
No,
in right now.
Kevin,
I'm understanding everything.
Kevin, this is serious, solid shit.
Exactly.
Sir, can you repeat that? Quiet.
I just said that I think at some point people move to a position where they have peace with what it is,
Right.
and I think Kevin's moving that direction. As he mentioned, he's in that same direction. You don't I'll share a little bit. So my father was killed when I was 9, and I remember the first year or two. That was all I could think of was why can't we go back? Not that I wanted to change it. I wanted to understand why it happened, why it was necessary, why all these different pieces. And then and it was at a younger age when I even started to realize this. There was no point in me continuing to look back. There were other things that I needed to focus on, other things that I needed to build upon so that I could be at peace with where things were going.
Say that one more time, please.
I needed to focus on other things in order to build and be prepared for the future.
What does that mean to you, Kevin?
Exactly what I'm doing right now.
So we are on the same page, right?
We been on the same page. I actually know how this actually led to this though, but this is the answer I had to give. If you gave me like kind of one option to if I had a chance to change something, what I would change. So me myself, like I said, I'm still a firm believer everything happened for a reason, and I can only think about one thing. It's just something I'm not totally over is that situation. So that's why I went back to that though. But I do already understand that, sometimes to take time to overcome certain situations, especially if it's newly done to you or newly around you and stuff sometimes. And just like he was saying that, yes, you gotta take your focus off of it and put it on something else, which I'm currently been doing. I've been working on different stuff to keep my mind off of it or whatever. But that's just human life. That's what we gotta do sometimes. I can't
That you
focus on it.
see, you see what he's saying. Look, Kevin has a platform already. I got platforms in different sites, right? Like TikTok is not really my shit, right? If you fuck with me on different platforms, I'm all over the place, right? But here I am supporting Kevin. Am I right or wrong, Kev? And I've told Kevin, take charge of your live, right? Am I right or wrong, Kev?
Yeah.
Take charge of it. Control it. Focus. Stay on topic, right? And Kevin's like, holy shit, there's so much information coming. How do I fucking, put it in different columns, right, Kev? Because chick came like crazy, right?
Yeah, but
So
I don't think you're giving Kev enough credit though, because at least I mean I haven't been on here long, and I'm just mostly watching from from my wife's shoulder, but Kev has definitely taken big steps forward in how he moves and controls his lives. I think when I first started listening, I remember there being a lot more crosstalk, and he's now been able to get that and keep that centered and focused. So
yes,
I get what you're saying, but I think you're kind of harping on something that he's already doing and accomplishing, and now it's just for him to continue that and then continue building on the next step.
yes, I will agree with you. But the only thing that I will say is that I've been with Kevin since the grind. And me and Kevin, I've had different situations with Kevin. And I've said, Kevin, control the live, right? Am I right or wrong, Kevin? And I've said, stay on topic, right? And I believe that I've given Kevin balance on what he needs to focus on, but I'm not taking away from Kevin's excellence on trying to understand things. You feel
But
me?
so I'll give you some honest feedback though. You are taking away from him by shining that credit on yourself for providing him that balance, because in order for that to accomplish within him, he had to take the action. Yes.
I
Hold on,
am, I am, I am not, I am not going to take that away from you at all.
Okay, I'm just saying, don't. It's he is putting in the work. You know, and if you are a person that helped to provide some insight or something like that, that's great. But ultimately, Kevin had to take the steps necessary to get there.
No, I will not, I will never, ever challenge that. All I can say is that I've been an adversary and a cooperative member of what he's doing already. Right or wrong, Kevin?
I feel what you. I feel. Yeah.
Kevin, listen. Let me tell you something. Kevin, do you not call on me to give you the situation balance?
Yeah.
So I'm not tooting my own horn. We work together. Kevin's life is Kevin's life. It's gonna be what it is, regardless of my input or not. I'm just trying to accelerate Kevin's shit.
I got you.
And I want to make sure that I'm a referee. That's why Kevin made me a moderator, right, Kevin? To make sure that the wrong essence is not available to continue forward and fight this fucking battle together. I don't actually give a fuck about who gets credit I'd rather be the man behind the scenes to make sure that Kevin's message gets across. Because the thing that I am enticed to, Kevin, is his ability to admit that he wants to learn. That's my spicy shit. When I judge people, I judge people on your interests and your motivation to learn the fucking truth. So as long as Kevin is on that path, I got his back 100% Just like you. If you tell me there is an agenda that you want to put forth, as long as that we resonate together and it's a righteous path, I got your back, bro. And nobody's gonna fuck with you. Do you feel me on that?
You fall asleep?
No, I'm good. I'm right here.
No.
I thought
No,
I was talking
he's
to you.
you know what he just did right there? He absorbed all of it. That's why I fuck with this dude, bro. Kev, I don't even fuck with Reese's helper like that. I don't fuck
Hmm.
with him like that. But he's already demonstrated to me that he's worthy of having a fucking conversation with. Am I right or wrong, sir?
I would hope so.
No, there's no hope here. There's no hope. We hope for things that we are not in control of. Let's leave that to the doctors. What we're in control of is what we feel right here and straight up. I already told you how I felt about you, right? Right or wrong?
Yep.
So, like I said, fuck all the bullshit. Me and you're gonna have a side discussion, right?
Yes.
So we're good. I would, Kevin. You know what's funny? I got a lot of power, bro. Kevin, right or wrong? I got a lot of power,
Hmm.
but I do not step on Kevin's toes because Kevin has a show that's called right the whole life and learn and fucking laugh, right? He has a show. I would never step on his toes. Let me ask you a question, Kevin. When I'm on your show and people come and say, "Yo, amiga, what's good?" What do? Let me take a time and effort to show you the people that are supporting me to show you that Kevin is the man, right? Am I right or wrong, Kevin?
No, yeah. So
I
yeah, when I
want,
be
I
going
want, I
there
want,
live,
I want this shit to interact. Here's the fucked up part about this whole shit. Let's say that TikTok bans me for the rest of my life. I'm still gonna be happy.
right?
I'm
You
still gonna be successful.
did your part.
It doesn't matter, bro. I live my life available to those that want to better their lives. Me and Kevin have an outside relationship where he could actually call me or text me on fuck TikTok. Right or wrong, Kev?
Yeah, definitely.
He's trying to build his YouTube channel. It's funny that me and Kevin been fucking around for 90 days, but when fucking TikTok banana his ass, he resorted to fucking YouTube. And then he was like, "Oh shit, Amiga is actually pretty live on YouTube." Am I right or wrong?
Or I just found out. I was like, what the heck?
Uh, TikTok doesn't make me. If you want to have a conversation like real people, I will come to you and we could have cheesecake or parmesan or fucking vegan or whatever the fuck you fucking tickles the pickle. I will come see you. I have yet to see Kevin live, right? Like in person. But what he doesn't know is that I have no problem going to Detroit. I'll go fuck with y'all. You know what? I'm not even gonna talk, bro. I'm gonna fuck with y'all on some real shit. I'm gonna visit all y'all. And I'm gonna keep my word to that because I have the freedom to do that. What y'all doing right now in this social media, I've been doing for years. I've studied all this shit. I'm ready to make real paper, real money. You know what I'm saying, Kevin?
Yeah.
You deserve to have different lines of income. So all I'm saying is this. I encourage people to challenge me. I encourage people to challenge me to keep my word. But give me something that's feasible, something that I could sink my teeth into. Give me some meat and potatoes. You don't think Kevin is not far from me? I'll fucking drive to his house right fucking now. Just like you, sir. We can have a Zoom meeting, but we can also meet up and do something more fruitful so that we can feel energy. Are you with me on this?
Yep.
I'm not afraid, bro. Yeah, bro. I lived in Mexico for 6 months. Chula Vista, California, Modesto County, Chicago, Puerto Rico, Florida, Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey. I have no fear. I keep trying to fucking tell everybody the same shit, Kev. You heard, Kev? Nobody understands what I'm fucking trying to tell them. The only person that I'm afraid of is myself. Why would I fear you, Kev, when I don't even know what you could offer me fearfully?
Or
Why quiet on the real. What do you have that I could be fearful of from you? When
Nothing
I'm
at all.
think about it. I am more focused on how I could fuck shit up. Kev, let me say it again. I am more focused on what I could fuck shit up. I'm putting myself on notice. Kev, do you realize what your strengths and your weaknesses are right now?
yeah.
Do you know your opportunities and your strengths? Think about that, bro. That's a strong statement. I will, yeah, Kev, I swear to God, bro, I'm going to see you in person. I'm going to hug you, and you're going to take a picture of that. Kev, listen to me. I swear to everything I believe in. Detroit, you're not far from me, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that Quiet is on the West Coast in Cali, right? Am I right, sir?
Yep.
Now, I used to live in Chula Vista, and I also lived in Mexico for 6 months. They took me hostage. Anyway, that's the difference in it. Modesto County up in the north. You know what I'm saying? Are you next to Modesto County?
No, we're about an hour and a half from
So
San
you
Diego.
by LAX?
Uh, we're like Riverside County.
You see what I'm saying? Am I right or wrong? Just saying, like, I would come see you. We would have lunch. I would hug you and show you the love, right? And then we would make a negotiation to make things better. Am I right or wrong, sir?
Yep. That's the only way I'm gonna take my time.
I'm not going to waste your time. Kev, this is one thing that I want to share with you. Kev, if you are not going to offer something of value when you meet somebody, if you're not going to help them accelerate or give them a higher sense of purpose, then don't waste your time. I am a person I am a person that if I meet you, if I can't elevate what you're already doing, if I can't add to what you're already doing, then why the fuck do I need to meet you? You know what I'm saying, Kev?
Right. Exactly.
What is your sentiments on that, sir?
Talking about
I
me.
think I
Oh,
think you're 100% right. I've already said. I think I've said it before. To me, if there's anybody who is not providing a positive value to you, you need to move on.
mm-hmm.
Life is too short for you to be wasting your time sitting in neutral.
Yeah, they gotta either keep you leveled or they gotta keep you or raise you. You know what I'm saying? It's gotta be one or two jobs. So if
Yep.
they ain't doing either one of them or they bring you down, there's no point.
Kevin, when you get to a point where you understand shit, Kevin, there's only two type of people that belong around you. Those that keep you on track and those that elevate you. Am I right or wrong, Mr. Quiet?
No, you're right.
So how do we so Kevin, how do you determine who's valuable in your life on the sense of keeping you on track or elevating you, Kevin? Answer that for me.
Mm. I would determine by based off how I communicate with them and stuff. Me trying to understand them as a character and all that. I can only know like piece by piece, and I can't go by word of mouth most of the time too, because I got to. It takes the time to even, like I said, you got to communicate with a person to study 'em, and based off how you feel and how they work around your emotions. I guess if they trigger you or something like that, or the way they just talk, it seems like they ain't on the same page. Then that's enough right there.
Now watch this. Kevin, how do you feel when you know you're talking too much and you want to get straight to the point by giving as less as possible?
You said I feel talking too much.
That
Well,
was a
before
lo-
I
that
guess
was a loaded
after
that was a loaded question, but I need to
yeah, I got
recognize what I'm
I
asking you.
got you. I got you. So basically, I guess after it depends on how long I'm probably giving a point or how long I'm talking, and depend on the like I'll be looking at like how somebody response is, or if they even trying to respond, or if I'm dragging it, and I try to give it a little time period and stuff. I'm trying to think how I'm trying to say that, but something like that.
Watch
I
this,
try
watch this, watch this. Mr. Quiet, same question.
Repeat that question one more time.
Kevin, given the question.
He said, "How do you Dang, what the heck I just said? How do you
This
basically he's saying how you know when you talking too long, basically something like that. When you talking too
yes.
long, when you got to shorten
How do you know when you're overdoing it to a
it.
situation where doesn't need that much constant?
Mm-hmm.
I would say based upon the feedback that I'm receiving during the conversation,
Mm-hmm.
if I am talking and if I'm getting interrupted, even though I would prefer that the person wait for a good opportunity, I know they're at least engaging. If I am talking and I ask a question and the question is answered in a short 2 to 3 word sentence, then I know that I'm either talking too long and not allowing them to capsize what it is that we're discussing in that moment to put it together. And then I would say the last one would probably be the body language that they're providing.
Right. I think it's basically the same thing I said.
Yeah.
You
Literally the
guys
same
said
thing.
you guys said the same exact thing, but one was spoken more eloquently. One was more direct. You saw how that works, Kevin?
Mm-hmm.
I have so much admiration for this man, Quiet, yo. But I'm gonna give you the flowers, Kev. If you keep doing what you're doing, Kev, you don't even understand where you're going with this. You understand, Kev? Keep doing this. Keep doing this. I got your back 100%. You don't understand how thrilled I am to meet the other half of Reese. I am without words right now because you see, here's the thing. I get a chance to see Reese from her side, and then I get a chance to see the other half from an individual sense, right? From you, Kevin, all I got is Kevin.
And this guy.
It's all
Like,
good, bro. Can I thank you? Thank you for coming in and having this situation work. Um, I want to thank you both. Thank you. Thank you for doing this. I
yeah.
learned a lot. I learned so much. And I love to learn because that's my greatest drug.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, if I am in if I am engulfed in something, if something pulls me, it's to learn because I want to be able to know when I'm having the right conversation. I want to be able to know who I'm dealing with. I already told you, Kev, that when I go into something, I'm ready for opposition. Come on, motherfucker, bring your best karate, right? And I've learned, you don't understand, I have so much respect for you, Kevin, and for Reese's husband right now that I just want to end this in such a positive note, man. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Quiet, because what you just did was entertain me in an intellectual level, not like a clown, right? That wants consensus. Please agree with me because it doesn't matter what the narrative is that I'm saying. As long as you agree with me, you give me love, right? No. Let's get to the fucking facts, right, Kev?
Right.
So, Mr. Quiet, I'm going to ask you to please say some last words before we close this.
Um, I would say just don't take this app too damn seriously. Get out, touch some grass, talk to some people, and figure some shit out for yourself.
Is that more like the take accountability, like they put some work in, grind?
I mean, that's the progression of it. But I would say the first thing is you know don't get caught up on here. There's so many people that talk about how they're I'm grinding for this success and all that, but you see them sitting on TikTok all day long. There's no way you're grinding if you're sitting on here all day long. There's not. Even if your goal is to be a content creator or whatever you want to call it, that's not how it works. You got to get some real world experiences. You got to understand people, and you don't understand them through a screen. And this is from somebody who's involved in tech. That's not how you figure people out. That's not how you understand the psychology of a human to know what it is that you need to provide to be successful.
I really appreciate those words. Kevin, can you close this out right now?
All right. This is three things. I would say one is listen to understand. Number two would be listen without feelings, and number three is let's continue to grow.
So obviously, this is the way I will close it. From quiet to Kevin, stop being full of shit. Stop being full of shit. Please bring your real rhetoric to the table so that we can access the right problem. Stop giving excuses and stop being comfortable. Learn how to be comfortable with uncomfortable situations. And let's fight this fight together. Bless you all, bro. We out of here. Good
All
night, bro.
right, for sure, man.
All right.